I never expected my life to shatter on a Tuesday afternoon. But that's the thing about destruction. It doesn't wait for weekends. My name is Beckett, and I was supposed to be debugging code until 7 that evening. Instead, a server crash cut my workday short, sending me home 3 hours early. I remember smiling as I pulled into our driveway, thinking I'd surprise Michaela with takeout from her favorite Thai place. The house was quiet when I opened the front door. Our cat Marcel wound between my legs as I set my laptop bag down, his purrs echoing in the stillness. That's when I heard it. Michaela's voice floating down from upstairs. Soft. Giggling. The kind of laugh she used to give me during our first year together. Meet me at home in an hour, she whispered into her phone. Hubby's working late again, and we can use his office chair like last time. The world didn't stop. My heart didn't explode. I just stood there, key still in hand, while Marcel rubbed against my ankle. The banality of the moment made it worse somehow. No dramatic confrontation, no screaming match, just my wife of 8 years planning to fuck someone else in my chair. Again. I cleared my throat loudly and walked up the stairs. Michaela was already ending her call, her face brightening with practiced innocence when she saw me. Beck, you're home early. She bounced up to kiss my cheek. Everything okay at work? Server issues, I said, matching her casual tone. But they just called. Need me to head back in for emergency maintenance. Oh no, she pouted, running her fingers down my arm. Will you be late? Probably past midnight. Don't wait up. You work too hard, baby. She kissed me again, and I felt nothing but ice in my veins. I'll probably just take a bath and go to bed early. I nodded, grabbed a change of clothes, and walked out. Simple as that. 12 minutes from discovery to exit. Sitting in my car 2 blocks away, I scrolled through months of memories with new clarity. The girls' nights that left her phone mysteriously dead. The sudden passion for yoga classes with a trainer she never named. The way she'd started password protecting her laptop because of work stuff. I'd ignored it all because that's what trusting husbands do, right? What a fucking joke. My phone buzzed, a text from Kevin, my best friend and coworker. Servers are back up. Coming in. I typed back. Taking a personal day. Need to run some errands. The hardware store was 5 minutes away. I'd actually researched micro cameras months ago when our neighbor's house got broken into. Now I walked straight to the security aisle, grabbed what I needed, and paid in cash. The clerk didn't even look up. Back home, Michaela's car was gone, probably running errands herself. I worked quickly, placing cameras with surgical precision. One facing my office chair, another in the hallway, a third aimed at our bed. The whole setup took 20 minutes. I tested the feeds on my phone, crystal clear with audio. Then I drove to the nearest extended stay hotel and booked a room. That night, I lay in the sterile hotel bed, staring at my phone screen. The bedroom camera showed Michaela sleeping peacefully in our bed, probably dreaming of tomorrow's rendezvous. She had no idea I was watching, no idea that her whispered plans had set something in motion that couldn't be stopped. I set an alarm for 6 a.m. Tomorrow would be a long day, and I needed to be sharp. After all, the best revenge requires patience. And I had all the patience in the world. The hotel coffee tasted like dirt, but I barely noticed as I stared at my laptop screen. 4:47 p.m. Michaela had just let him in through our back door. You're early, she giggled, pulling him inside. Couldn't wait, a male voice responded. Been thinking about you all day. I watched them kiss in my hallway, his hands already working at her clothes. The camera quality was perfect. Every detail, every whispered word came through in HD clarity. I didn't recognize him at first, but when he turned toward the camera, my stomach dropped. Austin. The investment banker who'd been at our Christmas party last year with his wife Autumn. They stumbled into my office, laughing like teenagers. I forced myself to watch as they defiled my chair, my space, my life. Their casual familiarity told me this wasn't new. This had been going on for months, maybe longer. My phone buzzed. Kevin calling. I answered mechanically. Beckett, where are you, man? The team's asking questions. I'm at the extended stay on 5th, I said, my voice hollow. Need you to come here, room 3112. Now? What's wrong? Just come. 20 minutes later, Kevin sat beside me, watching the footage in silence. His face darkened with each passing minute. That motherfucker, he finally spat. I'll kill him, both of them. I shook my head. No, I need you thinking clearly. Thinking clearly? Beckett, they're fucking in your office. On your chair. I know. I pulled up a spreadsheet I'd been working on all morning. That's why we're going to destroy them properly. Look at this. Kevin leaned in, scanning the document. Bank accounts, investment portfolios, property deeds. What are you planning? Everything's in my name, I explained. The house, the cars, our joint accounts. Michaela insisted on combining finances years ago, said it was more romantic that way. Jesus! Kevin ran a hand through his hair. How long have you suspected? Months, little things. But I needed proof before I moved. And now, I pulled out my phone, opened my contacts. Now we bring in someone else who deserves to know. Kevin's eyes widened as I typed, Urgent, your husband is cheating on you. Come to this address. Don't tell him. Then I added the hotel information and hit send. Autumn? Kevin whispered. You're telling his wife? She needs to see what I've seen. I gestured to the laptop where Michaela and Austin were finally finishing their afternoon delight. Besides, she's a corporate lawyer. She'll know how to hurt him where it counts. What if she doesn't believe you? My phone buzzed with a response. Who is this? How do you know? I sent back a single screenshot from the footage. Nothing explicit, just Austin entering my house, kissing my wife. Enough to prove I wasn't lying. 3 dots appeared immediately. Then, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I closed the laptop and turned to Kevin. I need you to do something for me. Go to this address. I handed him a piece of paper. It's a storage unit I rented this morning. I need you to buy some moving boxes and take them there. What for? Because by next week, everything Michaela loves will be in those boxes. I smiled, but there was no warmth in it. And she'll never see any of it again. A knock at the door made us both jump. I checked the peephole. Autumn stood there, perfectly composed in her business suit, but her hands were shaking. Ready? Kevin asked. I opened the door. Time to share some truth. How was work, baby? Michaela asked that evening, stirring pasta at the stove like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't spent the afternoon moaning another man's name in my office. Brutal. Server issues all day. I kissed her cheek, playing my part. I might need to work late again tomorrow. Her eyes lit up for a fraction of a second. Oh, how late? Probably till 8 or 9. I watched her type something on her phone, probably texting Austin already. Hey, I was thinking, remember that investment paperwork from last year? I need it for tax stuff. In the filing cabinet, I think. She didn't even look up from her phone. In the home office, I grabbed the folders I needed, trying not to look at my chair. The documentation was exactly where I remembered. Joint account agreements, investment contracts, all with Michaela's flowing signature at the bottom. All giving me full control. The next morning, I met Reggie, my new divorce attorney, at his downtown office. It's all legally sound, he confirmed, reviewing the papers. She signed over control of the joint accounts when you merged them. The house is in your name, even her inheritance. She authorized you to manage those investments entirely. So I can move everything? Legally, yes, but do it gradually. Too many large transfers at once might tip her off. I nodded, pulling out my laptop. I've already started. 10,000 here, 15 there. Moving it to the new accounts you set up. Smart? Reggie leaned back. What about physical evidence of the affair? Videos, photos, text messages, all backed up in 3 different places. Good. And the wife? Autumn, she's on board? More than on board. I showed him the text she'd sent that morning. Meeting with my lawyer today. Thank you for showing me the truth. Let's destroy them both. While Michaela was at her spa day, probably with Austin, I did a deeper dive through our house. Found a burner phone hidden in her yoga bag, hotel receipts stuffed in old shoeboxes, a whole second life documented in secret places. The worst was her group chat with her friends. I accessed it through her laptop, which she'd left logged in. Jade. Girl, you're playing with fire. Michaela, please, Beckett's clueless. Too busy with his coding to notice anything. Jade, but Austin's wife? Michaela, what Autumn doesn't know won't hurt her. Besides, Austin says Beckett would make a better chair than a husband. The others had responded with laughing emojis. These were women who'd eaten at our dinner table, celebrated holidays with us. My phone buzzed. Kevin. Boxes are all at the storage unit, he said. What's next? I need you to help me move some things this weekend, while she's at her yoga retreat. The one she's actually spending with Austin at that lake house? The same. I closed Michaela's laptop. How'd you know about that? Autumn found the booking confirmation in Austin's email. She's having them followed by a PI. Perfect. More evidence for both our cases. That night, Michaela was extra affectionate, probably compensating for guilt. She curled against me in bed, scrolling through her phone while I pretended to read. I love you, she whispered, kissing my neck. Love you too, I replied, watching her screen reflection in the window. She was texting Austin. Can't wait for this weekend. Just us, the lake, and no responsibilities. I texted Kevin under the covers. Everything ready? His response came immediately. Storage unit stocked. Autumn's PI hired. Reggie has the paperwork. Ready when you are. I put my phone away and pulled Michaela closer, letting her think she was still fooling me. Let her enjoy these last few days of her perfect little life. The weekend would change everything. I met Autumn at a quiet cafe across town, watching her hands shake as she stirred her untouched coffee. The PI's photos lay between us on the table, Michaela and Austin checking into the lake house, holding hands, kissing in what they thought was privacy. They're leaving for the weekend tomorrow, Autumn said, her voice steady despite her trembling hands. He told me it's a business trip to Chicago. Michaela said it's a yoga retreat. I slid another folder across the table. Here's everything else. Dates, times, locations, every lie they've told for the past 6 months. How are you so calm? She studied my face. I feel like I'm drowning. I'm not calm, I searched for the right word. Focused. On revenge? On justice. My phone buzzed. A text from Michaela. Can't wait for my retreat. Going to miss you so much. I showed Autumn the message. She laughed bitterly. Austin sent almost the same thing. Going to miss you, baby. Chicago will be so boring without you. She took a deep breath. So what's the plan? They'll be at my house tonight. One last meetup before their weekend away. I pulled up the camera feed on my phone. Want to walk in on them? God, yes. Her eyes hardened. What time? 7. Michaela thinks I'm working late again. Perfect. Austin has a client dinner. She grabbed her purse. I'll see you tonight. Back home, I played the devoted husband. Kissed Michaela goodbye, told her to have a great retreat, promised to water her plants. She was practically glowing with anticipation. At 6:45, I parked down the street and watched Austin's car pull into my driveway. Right on schedule. My security app pinged as they entered the house. Kevin called. You sure about this? Watch the feed, I said, sending him the link. It's about to get interesting. Through my phone, I watched them fall into their usual routine. My office, my chair, their laughter echoing through my house. At 7:15, Autumn texted, I'm here. I replied, wait 2 minutes, let me get in position. Slipping through the back door, I moved silently upstairs. Their moans covered any sound I might have made. I stood in the master bedroom doorway, straightening my tie, and sent the final text. Now. The front door burst open. Autumn's heels clicked on the hardwood. "Austin?" she called out sweetly. "Honey, your secretary said I might find you here instead of at your client dinner." The sounds from the office stopped abruptly. Scrambling, cursing. "Shit! Shit!" Austin's panic was audible. "Baby, I can explain." "Explain what?" Autumn's voice grew closer. "Explain why you're fucking my friend's wife in his office?" I stepped out as they emerged from the office, hastily dressed, faces flushed. Michaela froze when she saw me. "Beck!" Her voice cracked. "What? How? How long have I known?" I pulled out my phone, played one of their recorded encounters. "Long enough." "Please," she whispered. "We can talk about this." "No." I opened my banking app, showed her our joint account balance, 0.00. "We really can't." Austin tried to push past me. "This is bullshit. I'm leaving." "Not yet." I nodded to Autumn, who held up a stack of papers. "Your wife has something for you first. Divorce papers," Autumn said calmly. "And don't worry about the prenup. I have plenty of evidence to void it." Michaela slid down the wall, mascara running. "Beck, please, I love you." "No," I said, watching her world crumble. "You loved what I provided. There's a difference." And we were just getting started. The next morning, I watched the movers empty our house while Michaela sobbed on the front lawn. Everything labeled donation went straight into their truck, including the boxes containing her most precious possessions. "You can't do this," she screamed. "That's my mother's jewelry, my photos." "Actually, he can," Reggie said, appearing beside her with more paperwork. "You gave him power of attorney over all shared assets 3 years ago. Remember signing that? I trusted him." She turned to me, mascara streaking her face. "Beck, please, those are my memories." "Like the memories you made in my office chair?" I kept my voice level. "Or the ones from the lake house this weekend?" Austin had already fled the scene last night, leaving Michaela to face the aftermath alone. Autumn's latest text confirmed he'd found his clothes and trash bags on their front porch. Kevin helped the movers load the last box. "Where to?" "Goodwill on 5th Street," I said loudly enough for Michaela to hear. "Everything labeled donation goes there." "No." She lunged for the truck, but Reggie held her back. "Touch that truck," he warned, "and I'll add theft to the divorce proceedings." My phone buzzed, a message from Jade, Michaela's supposed best friend. "Can we talk? There's more you should know." I showed Michaela the text. "Looks like your friends are jumping ship." Jade wouldn't... She grabbed her phone, frantically typing. No response. "Meet me for coffee," I texted back to Jade. An hour later, I sat across from her at the same cafe where I'd met Autumn. Jade looked nervous, fidgeting with her cup. "She's done this before," she blurted out. "The affairs, the manipulation, it's a pattern." "Tell me. Before you, there was her ex-fiancé. She cheated with his business partner, nearly ruined his company." Jade pulled out her phone. "I have old messages. She used to brag about it." "Why tell me now?" "Because..." Jada's voice cracked. "She slept with my boyfriend last year. I just found out, and I'm done protecting her." Back home, Michaela was still sitting on the lawn, watching the empty house. Her perfect life dismantled in less than 24 hours. "The locks have been changed," I told her. "Your clothes are in those bags by the curb. Take them and leave." "Where am I supposed to go?" "Call Austin." I smiled coldly. "Oh, wait, he's probably busy dealing with Autumn's lawyers." "Maybe try a hotel? Though your cards might be declined." "You've ruined my life," she whispered. "No." I knelt beside her. "You did that yourself. I just exposed it." My phone buzzed again. Autumn sending a video. Austin discovering his frozen bank accounts, screaming at his financial advisor. Below it, she wrote, "Thank you for helping me see the truth. Karma's only getting started." "I loved you," Michaela tried one last time. "No." I stood up. "You loved using me. There's proof of that, too." I showed her Jade's messages, the evidence of her past affairs, the group chats mocking me. Her face crumpled as she realized how completely she'd been outmaneuvered. Kevin pulled up in his truck. Ready? Almost. I turned back to Michaela. The divorce papers are with Reggie. Sign them and maybe, I'll tell Goodwill which location has your mother's jewelry. She started crying again as I got into Kevin's truck. That was cold, he said as we drove away. No colder than fucking your husband's best friend, I replied, showing him Jade's latest revelation about Michaela's past. Or laughing about it with your friends. Christ. He shook his head. What's next? I pulled out my phone, opened the banking app showing her frozen accounts. Now we wait for her to realize exactly how much she's lost. The best revenge, after all, takes time to sink in. 3 days after I kicked Michaela out, her sister called me. She's a mess, Beckett. Living in a cheap motel, crying constantly. Can't you at least unfreeze one account? Has she signed the divorce papers? I asked, watching my laptop screen where another of Michaela's credit cards was being declined. No, Then we have nothing to discuss. I hung up and texted Reggie. Any movement? She's trying to contest the asset freeze. Judge denied it based on the evidence of her infidelity and the signed power of attorney. Perfect. I opened my email to find a message from Autumn. Meeting at noon brought something interesting from Austin's office. The cafe was becoming our war room. Autumn looked different, stronger, sharper, like she'd shed a skin of denial. Look at this, she said, sliding a folder across the table. Found it in Austin's desk while he was at his lawyer's office. Inside were hotel receipts dating back over a year. Not just with Michaela, other names, other dates. He's been doing this for years, Autumn said. Different women, same pattern. And guess what? He used company funds for some of these rooms. His partners won't like that. They don't. She smiled grimly. I sent copies to the board this morning. He's being audited as we speak. My phone buzzed. Jade again. Michaela's trying to get into your house. Says she needs something from the office. I pulled up the security feed. There she was, pounding on the front door, looking desperate. Want me to call the police? Jade asked. No, let her try. I'd replaced the locks with a keypad system. She could stand there all day. Autumn read the messages over my shoulder. She's unraveling. Good. I showed her my laptop screen. Watch this. I clicked a button, and somewhere across town, the last of Michaela's personal credit cards was canceled. Within minutes, my phone exploded with texts. Michaela, you can't do this. Michaela, I need money for food. Michaela, please, I'm begging you. Harsh, Autumn commented. Remember the group chat where she joked about me being a human chair? I closed my laptop. I'm done being furniture. Later that evening, Kevin came over with beer and takeout. We watched the security feed as Michaela finally gave up and left the porch. Austin's firm suspended him today, Kevin said, scrolling through his phone. It's all over LinkedIn. Financial misconduct investigation. Autumn works fast. You both do. He handed me a beer. Jade sent more screenshots. Want to see? The messages were from last Christmas. Michaela and her friends planning her meetups with Austin, laughing about how oblivious I was, sharing details that made my stomach turn. You know what's funny? I said, setting down my beer. She always said I was emotionally distant. Too logical. Not passionate enough. I laughed without humor. Guess she never imagined how I'd use that logic against her. My phone lit up. Reggie calling. She's at my office, he said. Ready to sign. Everything? No contests? Everything. She's broken, Beckett. Wants to know about her mother's jewelry. I thought about the boxes at Goodwill, carefully labeled with tracking numbers I'd never share. Tell her to sign first, then we'll talk. After hanging up, I opened my laptop one last time. Pulled up the video of Michaela and Austin in my office, her cruel laughter echoing through the speakers. Deleted it. I didn't need it anymore. You okay? Kevin asked. Better than okay. I closed the laptop. I'm free. Tomorrow, the divorce would be filed. Michaela would sign away everything, and I'd finally delete the last traces of her from my life. Sometimes the best revenge is simply walking away. The divorce signing was set for 9 a.m. at Reggie's office. I arrived early to find Michaela already there, looking small and defeated in yesterday's clothes. The jewelry, she said immediately. You promised. Sign first. I sat across from her, watching her hands shake as Reggie laid out the papers. Everything's in order, Reggie explained. Full dissolution of marriage, all assets retained by Beckett, no contest clause, non-disclosure agreement. Non-disclosure? She looked up sharply. Why? Because I said quietly, if you ever tell anyone about our marriage ending differently than we grew apart, those videos go public, to everyone, your family, your work, your friends. Her pen hovered over the signature line. You wouldn't. I pulled out my phone, played a clip of her and Austin. Her face went white. Sign. She signed. Now my mother's. The office door opened. Autumn walked in, followed by a distinguished-looking man in an expensive suit. Perfect timing, Autumn said. Michaela, you remember Mr. Patterson? Austin's managing partner? Michaela's face drained of what little color remained. Mr. Patterson cleared his throat. Miss Dunn, we're conducting an internal investigation into Austin Cooper's misuse of company funds. Several hotel receipts have come to light. Michaela started. We have footage I cut in of you discussing company information Austin shared during your meetings. Insider trading information. Her eyes widened. The SEC might disagree, Mr. Patterson said. We're offering you a deal. Sign this statement confirming Austin acted alone, and we won't pursue charges against you for being party to financial misconduct. Autumn smiled coldly. I'd sign quickly. The FBI doesn't like waiting. Michaela signed everything they put in front of her, hands shaking so badly she could barely hold the pen. Your mother's jewelry, I said when she finished, was donated to 3 different Goodwill locations. I have the receipts, but not the locations. Kind of like how you had the decency to be faithful, but not the location to do it anywhere but my office chair. You bastard, she whispered. No, Autumn cut in. You don't get to play victim. Not after what you and Austin did. Speaking of Austin, Mr. Patterson added, checking his watch, he's being served with termination papers right now, and the SEC is visiting his office as we speak. Michaela stood up, swaying slightly. Can I at least get my things from the house? Your things? I laughed. Check your group chat, the one where you and your friends mocked me for months. Scroll up to where you said, and I quote, everything in that house is basically mine anyway, since I'm the one who decorated it. I pulled up the chat on my phone, showed her the messages. Funny how things work out. Now nothing in that house is yours, not even your memories. She started crying again, but I felt nothing. The tears that once would have broken my heart now felt as fake as her love had been. We're done here, Reggie announced, gathering the papers. Michaela walked out without another word, leaving behind the life she'd tried to play with like a toy. That was masterful, Autumn said, after she left. Both our exes taken down in one morning. The best revenge, I replied, is the one they never see coming until it's too late. My phone buzzed one last time, Kevin sending a photo of Michaela's boxes being unloaded at Goodwill. Somewhere in those boxes, her mother's jewelry waited to be found by strangers. Just like I'd had to find out from strangers that my marriage was a lie, my new apartment felt empty, but in a good way. Clean, like starting over with a blank canvas. I'd kept nothing from my old life except my clothes and laptop. The doorbell rang, Kevin with pizza and updates. Austin's being indicted, he said, dropping onto my couch. SEC found a whole web of illegal trades. He's looking at serious time. And Michaela? Living with her sister in Ohio. Jade says she's working as a waitress now. He handed me a beer. Speaking of Jade, my phone lit up with her message. Need to tell you something important. Can we meet? An hour later, Jade sat across from me at my kitchen counter looking nervous. Michaela didn't just cheat with Austin, she said. Remember Tom, my ex? She slept with him too. And Sarah's husband, Mark. It was like a game to her. Why tell me this now? Because I found her diary when I was helping her sister pack up her stuff. Jade pulled out her phone. She wrote about all of them, how she loved making faithful men betray their wives. Called it her specialty. I took a slow breath. Send me the pictures. Already did. Check your email. The photos showed the pages of Michaela's flowing handwriting, detailing her conquests like trophies. My name appeared early on. Beckett's perfect, successful, trusting, and completely clueless. This will be fun. There's more, Jade said. She's been calling everyone trying to spin the story. Says you abused her, that's why she cheated. Nobody believes her, but you wanted me to know. Yeah, and... She hesitated. Autumn asked me to tell you she's filing criminal charges against Austin. The FBI found evidence he was embezzling money to fund their hotels. They want you to testify. My phone buzzed. Autumn. Got him. FBI has everything. You in? Tell her I'm in, I said to Jade. Time to finish this. Later that night, Kevin helped me unpack my last box. Inside was a single manila folder, every piece of evidence I'd gathered, every screenshot, every recording. What are you going to do with it? He asked. Keep it. Not for revenge anymore. For reminder. Of what? That I'm not the fool she thought I was. I locked the folder in my desk. And that karma works better with a little help. My phone lit up with a final message, from Michaela's number. I lost everything because of you. I typed back, no. You lost everything because you thought I was too weak to fight back. Goodbye, Michaela. Then I blocked her number. Kevin raised his beer. To new beginnings? To justice, I corrected, and to never being anyone's furniture again. We clinked bottles as my phone buzzed one last time, Reggie confirming the divorce was officially recorded, final and irreversible. I deleted that message too. Didn't need it anymore. Outside my window, the city stretched out like possibilities. My new life waited, clean and untainted by betrayal. In the end, Michaela had taught me something valuable. Revenge doesn't have to be loud or violent. Sometimes the coldest revenge is simply showing someone exactly who you really are. Not the person they thought they could fool, but the one who was watching all along. You know what's funny? I said to Kevin. She always said I was too logical, too controlled. Guess she never realized that made me dangerous. To calculating bastards, Kevin laughed, raising his beer again. To justice, I repeated, and meant it. Because sometimes justice isn't about getting even, it's about getting free.